Vaibhav. In today's session, we are seeing most of the financial instruments moving on the lower side. On the currency segment, we are seeing some correction happening in the USDJPY, and the same direction can be seen for the Euro USD, which is also inching lower after failing to get past the 1.19 level. And if you consider the equity segment, there also European session is seeing some losses, and we are having these three key equity indices in the euro area: the FTSE 100, DAX, and CAC 40, all three trading in red with losses of around 0.3 to 0.4%. If we consider the data docket for the day, earlier in the day during the Asian trading hours, we got the Reserve Bank of Australia's interest rate decision, and as expected, there were no changes in the policy for the interest rate, which has been left unchanged at 0.1%. But at the same time, the bond buying program has been extended till mid November, and the pace of bond purchases has been lowered, so that's a change in the policy, and it has pushed the AUD higher. As I said, most of the financial instruments are trading lower, but AUD is an exception, and it has gained ground against most of its major currency peers, and it has appreciated. I think that is mainly being driven by these change in policy from the Reserve Bank of Australia. Moving to the European trading hours, just a while back we got these euro area retail sales numbers, which are seeing an increase of 4.6% in terms of month on month. The year on year figures are also quite robust, but what is more important is this turnaround in month on month figures. In the month of April, we had seen decline of around 4%. I think it was somewhere close to 3.9%. I'm not precise with the figures. And after that, we are seeing for the month of May, the retail sales have picked up as the economy is being opened up from the clutches of pandemic restrictions, and that has pushed these numbers higher. In the in the US trading hours, we are scheduled to get the ISM non-manufacturing PMI data for the month of May, and expectations are, this figure which is going to be released is going to be for the month of June, not May. May's number we already have, and May was also particularly strong month where we had this record reading of 64, and this month we might see slight moderation there, but not much change. And we are going to expect that US economy is doing quite well, and that will result in the service sector showing expansion, and this time around the reading is expected to be around 63. The price pressures are increasing, but some moderation is being seen on the employment front. And also, if we consider the other factors which go on to determine the PMI reading, the factors such as backlog of orders, new orders, and business activity, all these three factors are continuing to show expansion. And as a result of that, I'm not really expecting much of a change, but a slight moderation can't be ruled out. Now let's shift our attention to the technical side. First, we will consider the technical outlook for the USD/JPY, and afterwards, we will also consider the formation for the Euro USD. Let's start with the USD/JPY. This is the daily time frame chart, and we have this formation of higher highs and higher lows for the USD/JPY. And if we consider the today's price action, it is like caught in between the key levels. If you consider the prior swing low, it is not really far off, and this is the key price support which I'm counting on for the USD/JPY. And if we are to see this continuation of the upward trajectory, then it will be important for the USD/JPY to respect this immediate support and This is the price area which we will have to watch out for. How the price action unfolds on this level is going to be a critical driver of the price action from the near term. So we will have to rely on the lower time frame charting while taking the trading decisions. We have these key support on the price action front as well as on the technical side. If you consider these pivot point series, the central pivot point is around the same area of 110.5. So from both point of view, we have this key support in place. And in today's session, the USDJPY has been in a bearish undertone and it is inching on the lower side. Right now, it is somewhere close to 110.6, and looking at its incremental losses, I'm expecting by the time US session gets started, we might expect the USD to have dived closer to 110.5. But after that, it will be interesting to see if it consolidates on these levels or if it goes on to make a fresh swing low below the prior swing low. And if it does make a new swing low, then I think we will have to be cautious and allow the consolidation to unfold, and after that the new opportunities can be taken to go short. But if it doesn't really go on to break below the prior swing low and if it respects these key support, then I think not in today's session, the probability is quite strong that by the time we come back for trading tomorrow, we will have a base formation on the lower side, and after taking that into consideration, we can start looking for the fresh opportunities to go long with a possible move can be expected toward this prior swing high, the recent high formed closer to 111.7. So here we will have to rely on these three key SMAs as a critical marker. We can utilize this convergence zone of around 111 as the price area which will define and divide the range. As long as the USD is holding below this 200 SMA, I think we will have to think twice before going for a long position. Right now, the undertone is bearish, but given the fact that we are not far off from the key support, I don't really think this is time to go short. Rather than that, we can allow the USD to continue its slide on the lower side and then see how it reacts to the approaching support. And depending on that, we can think about going in for the new trade probably in tomorrow's session. And if we see the breakout on the lower side, then of course the first preference will be to go short. But if we see that USDJPY supports finds supports on the lower side and tries to rebound again, then we will have to wait for it to cross above the 200 SMA, and it should sustain above the 50 SMA, and only after that we can think of going for the long position. Fresh longs can be added in the USDJPY. Now moving to the Euro USD's technical outlook. This is the daily time frame chart, and here the Euro USD is consolidating closer to the immediate support, the prior swing low support on the daily time frame chart of around 1.185. In today's session, the day started well and it was trying to cross above the 1.19, but that didn't really materialize. And here we are looking at the opportunities to go short in the Euro USD. Now, looking at its price formation for the day, given its sharp reversal from the higher side, I think it will be prudent for us to take a bearish view for the Euro USD from the intraday perspective. And of course, we will have to wait for some consolidation after this steep decline which has already taken place. But any trade which needs to be initiated in today's session, we should be preferably on the short sale side. If you consider the technical formation, it is in the lower high and lower low formation, signifying the bearishness of the underlying momentum. If you consider this technical formation of the regression curve and the pivot point series, both are still pretty much bearish. In yesterday's session, I was looking at the possibility of USD, Euro USD finding support and after consolidation inching on the higher side, but uh, contrary to my expectation, it didn't really hold the ground. It did rise, but not as much as expected. And after getting close to 1.19, it reversed course, and now it is inching on the its prior trajectory. And I think, given these significant reversal from the higher side, it can be said that it is not a good idea to keep looking for any long position. Rather than that, we can utilize this convergence of 50 and 100 SMAs. These two SMAs are converging closer to 1.186, and I think this is the price zone which can get us the optimum entry and exit point. We can keep the stop loss closer to these immediate swing high, the day's high, which is there around 1.189. And after due consolidation, if we short the Euro USD anywhere closer to this convergence zone, we can expect the move towards 1.180 or even beyond that in a course of time. And if you simply want to trade from the intraday perspective, then also we can expect the move towards at least this prior swing low 1.18, and we should be in position to hold on to the trade at least for next day or two. At least 2 3 days horizon will have to be kept in mind while initiating the new trade in Euro USD. And I am expecting this bearishness to prevail for today's session as well as for next couple of session. So that's my take looking at the current price formation of the Euro USD. And before I sign off, I would also like to remind that there is risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. You can also check out the Ducoscopy Analytics page for further coverage of the market developments. There you will find the insightful material from the fundamental as well as from the technical perspective, and you can utilize all the info provided to you while making the trading decision. For JForex platform, you can check it out, the link provided. And if any of you have any problem or any query regarding that, you can write to me in the feedback section. And on the social media, we have the page on Facebook. You can follow us there. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.